Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see. I'm not gonna take anyone out, no matter what Variety wants me to do. Hibachi, Benihana, Teriyaki. Scary Movie 3. I think. 4. Scary Movie 4. Hibachi, Benihana, Teriyaki. Hibachi, Benihana, Teriyaki. I had never done comedy. I was never known for comedy. I was like a little dramatic theater rat in Seattle. I had just decided to maybe give LA a year. I was gonna wait tables. I just graduated from college, but acting was something I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was hot enough, whatever. So getting cast in Scary Movie was an earthquake in my life, an absolute earthquake. I had called my college roommate and I said, I was just cast as the lead in a spoof movie. And she said, oh, Anna, you're not funny. I was like, I know. I wasn't funny. She was right. Turns out I don't know all the activities that my face does, you know? Instead of the mahi-mahi, may I just get the one mahi because I'm not that hungry? Shelly from the House Bunny.
Instead of the mahi-mahi, may I just get the one mahi because I'm not that hungry?
The House Bunny, I'm really proud of that project because it's so beloved and because it was a character that I had conceived of. I was pitching to the writers of Legally Blonde this character. I said, she's this lower echelon Playboy bunny that's getting a little older. You know, she didn't go to college. She didn't get to marry the rich dude. What happens to her? And I said, maybe she becomes addicted to meth and she has to return to like her small conservative town and sort of have this reconciliation with her identity. And they were like, or she could become a house mom at a sorority. I was like, okay. So we pitched that movie 24 times around town. On the 24th time it sold, Adam Sandler, Happy Madison, really wanted to go shoot at the Playboy Mansion. And we shot there our first week. And it was surreal. I was at a point in my career where it felt like if I'm not proactive, I'm not gonna work. And then it's like, how does one be proactive? And so, yes, I got to shoot at the Playboy Mansion. At some point, you gotta realize that things are a little seedy. They felt seedy then, and they feel really, really seedy now. So I guess I got invited to a couple of them, but maybe. Whoa. I don't know if I know this. Okay, why don't you ask the Reverend to pray on it? This feels like, am I telling somebody off? Why don't you ask the Reverend to pray on it? Why don't you ask the Reverend to pray on it? Who am I? Is it a multicam? You friends? This is Friends.
Well, why don't you ask the Reverend to pray on it?
I tell Chandler off on Friends? Because my character was kind of innocent too, right? So how was that delivery? Let me try it again. Why don't you ask the Reverend to pray on it? I do remember like these sentimental group hugs, because I think I was on the second to last episode giving birth. Like we would be having finished rehearsal and standing on the floor, and I would be the only person that would be about 2 feet away from their group hug. They would be like, come on, which also felt inappropriate. Like I'm just here for, you guys, this feels wrong, but so special. And getting to shoot in front of the live audience for those audiences, you know, those people in that audience really knew what it meant to get to witness the end of this incredible show. Oh boy. It's not every day that your best friend grows a penis. Okay, this has got to be the hot chick.
What? It's not every day that your best friend grows a penis.
what was my character's name? April, sweet April. She's in love with her best friend, or at least crushes pretty hard. But I don't remember where we are when I say this. Am I on the bleachers? Or no, that was Boys Are Cheats and Liars.
Boys are cheats and liars. They're such a big disgrace.
Okay, boys are cheats and liars. There's such a big disgrace. They will tell you anything to get to second baseball. Baseball, he thinks he's gonna score. Horticulture study flowers. Geologist studies rocks. All boys, cockroaches, beetles, butterflies, and bugs. He's up in the North Pole dealing with the whole ice cap situation. Yeah, he's probably gonna fix it. I don't know what this is from at all. A movie, a rom-com. Oh, what's your number? Oh, good. I loved playing that character.
He's up in the North Pole dealing with the whole ice cap situation.
My best friend from childhood, that's her favorite of my movies because she feels like Allie, my character in What's Your Number, is closest to who I am. I think I'm a little more, I wear more sweatpants than Allie does in the movie, but oh yeah, he's up in the North Pole dealing with the whole ice cap situation. Yeah, I think he's probably gonna solve it. Oh boy, okay. This is a mouthful, isn't it? This must have been a stressful day on set. This is my store. This is a Free Earth Collective. We are a vegan, feminist, nonprofit cooperative operating within an anti-racist, anti-oppressive framework for people of all or no genders. This is from The Dictator.
We are a vegan, feminist, nonprofit cooperative operating within an anti-racist, anti-oppressive framework for people of all or no genders.
My character is feminist, and she believes in justice, you know, to her core. I'm in New York. It's the summer. I've grown out my armpit hair, my own armpit hair. And when your armpit hair, you haven't ever really seen it, you know? And when you've been bleaching your hair since you were 15 years old. So you don't imagine your armpit hair coming in so dark and curly, but not even curly, just sort of straight kink. And you're like, hey, you want a cab? I felt like I wanted to do a little more with who Zoe was. There were a lot of writers, like working all the time. I think also having grown up with film, where you're restricted. Improv is a gamble, and a lot of directors don't like it. So having had that strict kind of boundary, I don't improv as much as one would think, but I do like to think I improv at crucial moments. God, I want to lick your skin off. Just friends? God, I want to lick your skin off.
I prefer you didn't.
Man, I loved playing Samantha James. I got to, express something. The brat in me. Oh, it was really, really fun to play a character that was so entitled, so confident, so talentless, so obnoxious, unaware. Just wonderful. I want to play versions of her again. I'd love to play her again. It was a delight. Okay. While other mothers were cooking dinner, you were cooking meth. While other mothers were cooking dinner, you were cooking meth. That must be from Mom. I must be talking to Allison Janney.
While other mothers were cooking dinner, you were cooking meth.
Season 1, episode 1? All right. I had never met her before the show, and yes, right from day one, we had a special bond, a special friendship, and I needed that. You know, it was 7 seasons, 7 years, and couldn't have done it without her. You know, she is just an incredible person. I love her so much. I think that show continues to resonate with fans because of its subject matter. We were intimate and vulnerable. I'm proud to be a part of something that at the grocery store, I don't go anywhere else, at the grocery store, in the freezer section, in the meat section, vegetables, baking, for sure baking. I get a lot of people telling me how much that show has meant to them. Thank you. I love Jell-O. I feel like this could be in any of my movies. Oh, of course, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. But don't you think any of my characters could say, I love Jell-O?
I love Jell-O.
I love Jell-O too.
I loved working with those guys. Like in Seattle, there wasn't a ton of work for actors at that time. And I would do a lot of voice work, though. I would do a lot of regional commercials and whatever to get $200 here and there. I've always enjoyed doing voice work, creating a character, playing with levels of vocal levels, and getting to do a movie where, if you find yourself talking at the grocery store about Mom, the show Mom with Allison Janney, and there's a little kid that's in the cart, and they're like, cartoons don't talk, do they? And you're like, yep, they do. You're behind the couch. I can see your feet. Cindy Campbell, the original Scary Movie.
You're behind the couch.
What? How do you know that?
I can, see your feet.
For me, getting to revisit this franchise in this way, with the Wayans brothers getting their franchise back, I didn't think it would ever happen this way. In fact, I thought that if I was a part of a Scary Movie again, that it would feel like a little bit sad for me. Like, okay, I'm doing this for the mortgage and, Cindy's I gotta get back on that horse again. And so to have it with Marlon calling me, I hadn't talked to them for 23 years. I never had an opportunity to thank Keenan for casting me. So I got to personally, just show up every day, tell them how thrilled I was to act with them again and thank them for throwing me into the world of comedy that I didn't know I needed.